Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Daniel Williams, and today I want to talk about for this video a sort of like a another Kamen concept that I've been working on over the past couple of years. And right here, as you can see, this is me drawing it. I drew it a few times, but in hindsight, this is not necessarily like the quote unquote final draft, so to speak. And well, this is the one I kind of just thought of, and it originally wasn't what it is to look like as of right now. I'm just going through a few other things, and I'm probably just gonna roll with it as like the official design and such, because when I originally drew this one, it was a Dragon Knight, and going over the story itself, it didn't necessarily fit the criteria of what I was going for and all the concepts and such. So yeah, this is me just going through it. So today we're just gonna talk about what the heck I'm drawing here, as well as about what the heck I'm drawing here. So what I'm drawing here is a character I call Kamen Multi-War, or is the main character or main Reda of the show I call Kamen Multi-War. Now, for the name, I am probably not going to change it, and the reason why I named it that way was because of some translation and definition or something along those lines. I don't really have much to say on that. It's just mainly of choice, and the original thing was because of the mainly because of the translation of the name, but I just stick with that. And with the translation of this name, and I'm gonna talk about it real quick. Motowaru is literally multi, as in multiple things, and then water, short for warrior. I just pronounced it like water because it fit nicely, especially combining with multi. So yeah, that's literally all of the name. Real quick, I'm going to talk about the show itself, but before I say anything about that, I just want to get this out the way. I want to do videos like these further on where I just draw the character themselves and pretty much explain the show themselves, because I feel like it would be better, or something along those lines. And in this bit, I apologize that you can't really see his face or what I am actually drawing, since my head is literally blocking it. But other than that, I just wanted to use this style, see if that works, and I kind of want to separate the formats between my videos here and there. So yeah, that's quite literally what I'm going to do. And let's quickly talk about Multi-War himself. Now, in regards to Multi-War, I have really not touched upon him for like a while, in the sense that I have not developed it that much. The only thing I can remember about Multi-War that I kind of gotten over with is like the lore of his like place that, what's the right word? It's sort of like the setting of where the show is taking place, and it resides in like a country, and it's supposed to be like this medieval or just fantasy realm, as you would sometimes see in isekai anime, which is what I want to do. I want to put it like in a city or near a school where it kind of gives you isekai vibes or something along those lines. And I have put a lot of stuff in regards to that on there, but I'm not going to go into detail about it, maybe in another video. So let's also get into another chase, or let's just get into Kamen Multi-War. Starting with the plot, we have what I would like to say is an experimental alien, or an alien being experimented on, let me use that phrasing, it's literally about his self-discovery, because there is one day where he's going around and he somehow has made physical contact through his skin or his hands somebody's superpower. So let's say somebody shooted fire at him and he absorbed it, and he absorbed it through his hands, and he felt it through his veins going towards from his arms to his heart and then back out to then create an orb on his hands and all that. So essentially, a part of the show is him discovering who he is with this newfound power, and also where did he come from and all that. And yeah, there's that. And then the second part of it is about the decline, or sort of, yeah, the decline of the population in the in the country, or more specifically around the school that the main character usually hangs out with. And before I continue on, I will say the main character's name. I'm just trying not to catch myself off guard here and make you guys confused of who the heck is this character, or something along those lines. So our main character is Tailtay, Talytay. I don't know. It sounded cool, as well as. Well, actually, I have nothing else on that bit. That's his name, and we're just gonna move on from that. So, we have these things called hybrids, which essentially are just they are like monsters, or just like monsters created from like mythical creatures or something along those lines. And in this universe, basically every single creature, whether it be an animal or mythical creatures, pretty much anything is literally a human being. So yeah, they don't have a thing for pets, but that's not important. And and the way they become hybrids is an exertion or an exceeding. I don't know how to say this, but I don't know how to say it with the right adjective, but if their emotions go through the roof, whether it be positive or negative, they turn into hybrids. And this happened about a year before our main character, Tailtay, comes in and like just exists within the school, because a part of the show will involve him being in school. So with that, once you're in hybrid form, and if you're defeated in hybrid form, you cannot go back to your hybrid form. You're completely defeated. You're not alive anymore. That's what I wanted to do, and I thought it would be cool to make it interesting a little bit, because it also puts on the balance of a human's life at stake. And this also contributes to the element of the population declining bit by bit, so to speak. So, yeah, that's the second part of the plot, and that's inherently what it is. So we have a journey of self-discovery to figure out who Tailtay is, what he is, and what is happening to him, as well as this other element where we have all these people turning into hybrids, and since there hasn't been a cure for it, the population over like the past year has been declining, which is a problem. So that's the plot for Multi-War. Additional details that I would like to mention real quick are of the following. Number one is what will be seen in the show. That's number one. And number two is a ranking system. Those are the two things that I really wanted to talk about, more specifically with this show here. So starting off with the ranking system, we have a ranking system very similar to isekai anime from E rank all the way to S plus rank. So it's sort of like a grading thing where we have A plus, A minus, you get the point. So we start off with E rank, which is like the lowest of the low, or E rank to about maybe C rank ish. That's where you are pretty much like commoners or something along those lines. You're just like normal folk, like everybody else. And then moving on from that, we got like B minus to about, let's say, B plus, or rather C plus to about B plus. Those are the noble people, and yeah, within noble people, most of them are rich or something along those lines, or also they come from a royal family. Moving on from that, we have, I think I already said B to B plus, or C minus or something to B plus. I don't remember. We have somewhere within the B plus, maybe A minus to about like the A rank, where they are sort of a part of like a militia, sort of like one of the high-ranking militia. And in regards to the military and all that, you can be anything from C rank to about, let's say, S plus rank. You can be in the military, but you will have to take a test very similar to like a military test or something along those lines, and you have to go through there to make sure you're qualified to be a part of either the army or a party, all that. In which parties do exist, but there is like a separate militia or something along those lines. So within A minus to about A plus, you get to have special positions not only in the military, but as well as you get to be a general or like a commander or something along those lines. Same thing if you were to go upwards, but it's sort of different if you were to go upwards. Now, when you go upwards, it's more, or at least this place is where it's more into politics. So if you are roughly A plus to an S minus, you're pretty much like the secretary or the treasury of, pretty much the treasury to the king. So you're like his advisors or something along those lines, and you take care of the finances and all and other stuff as well as that. And then I had like another position, and I think I want to toss that around with A minus to A plus, where basically they're like the guards to the king before we get to the left and right hand, in which in order to be the left and right hand, you have to be S or S plus. If you're S, you get to be the left hand. If you're the S plus, you get to be the right hand. Do you see how I'm getting here? And if you're left or right-handed, your job is literally to be with the king at all times. So you're kind of like one of the greatest advisors closest to the king. Now, to become king, you can be any rank. You just have to pass a test, like a really difficult test that takes about a year, and you have to compete with like multiple candidates and all that. To include, you have to be proven worthy by a stone who can literally read your intentions, especially when becoming king and all that. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much the ranking system in regards to the country for Kamen Multi-War. So, as you can see here, I'm about to wrap up with this picture here. This is Kamen Multi-War. This is Kamen Multi-War in his neutral form, and like I said before, when he absorbs his powers, it turns into an orb upon his hands, and with that, that's pretty much the basis of his forms. Very similar to Kamen Gov, rather, and I call this the neutral form because we do not have an indefinite form to give him. I didn't have an indefinite form to give him, so I'm just going to stick it with the neutral form right here. And that is all I have for today's video. I wish I could talk more, but unfortunately I don't. So with that being said, have a good day, ladies and gentlemen.